Hello lovelies, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to do a sketchbook tour of my 2020 sketchbook. It's a Canson XL mixed media, and it is a chunky boy. When I first did this, I thought it was going to be a list or a sketchbook just for places I've been. So we're going to skip the first 3 pages because they have addresses. This one is like a gesture marker drawing of the Toledo Art Museum. I was feeling very inspired after that visit. Yeah, that's from 2018, so I do move on to the 2020 stuff soon. I tried drawing a building that doesn't actually exist, and this is early 2020 when I was giving my sister an in-person tutorial about how to do galaxies, and this is what we got. My attempts at figure drawing and cartooning are really, really poor. And I hate the hair squiggle. And so I just put a big old rose over her face and then another one. More galaxy practices. I tried doing just like the one color ones. That was really fun. This one is good as a good one to show because I picked up the Winsor Newton gouache, the pink opera color, and I love it. I just painted a whole window sill in it. This is actually the vows my husband and I gave when we got married. Noisy sun in the background there. I was experimenting with Posca, trying to draw a plant, mixing with, this is gouache and the Posca. This one is just gouache. I was really lost at this point in my art. I didn't quite know what I wanted to be making, what I wanted to be doing. This was also during my 100 days of landscape projects, and I was trying to keep up with my sketchbook practice while doing 100 paintings in 100 days, and it was hard. This was very pleasing. I really like doing just like fun, sketchy line work stuff. I got the idea from this one from a piece of art I did in high school. For a drawing test, I had to draw an art easel with all of the stuff attached, and like, I just want to draw and paint the stuff individually. And I plan on making stickers out of this at some point. Zabio Arts, Zabio Arts, I think that's how you say it, did a sketchbook tutorial about how to draw those like aesthetic pages in your sketchbook. And I was like, I want to feel good about myself and my art for a minute, so I'm going to unironically do this, and it was actually a big hit. And so I did it with just some other plants and leaves. My attempts of drawing some self-portraits and my faces and more. And then I moved back on to like stuff I feel good about myself about with the fun line work and art. This was fun because it was this like broccoli here is my favorite. It's just mwah, with the Posca and just the ink pen and the orange ink pen. Just awesome. Lettering practice. Again, we got married in October of 2019, and so at this point in 2020, I was still very into this phrase. I still am very into this phrase. And I'll just keep drawing it until I have the perfect one. Cute little petals. This is another thing I'm planning on turning into stickers. I was actually looking for these images for something quasi-related to the sticker project, and I forgot where I put them, so I'm actually glad they're in here. On my Etsy shop, I have, the only thing I have on there right now are some like cactus creatures. I have a witch, a zombie, a vampire, and one more thing. I don't remember. I'm sorry. But I thought about the idea of doing more cactus creatures and using my new monster manual for it. This is the name of I use for my artistic stuff. So if you go on looking for me on Instagram, it's uncanny.artistry. And these are some ideas I was going on with for my logo. And then I just drew some mushrooms. And then hats, which I have another sheet, another thing of these of me turning these hats into stickers. Because there's more, and I just got really into it, like, I need to turn these hats into stickers. I don't know who needs hat stickers, but it's something I need to make. I was doing that in May? There was a doodle challenge I did last year too, with all of my different prompts that I follow. There is a video about that somewhere too. And I got really into the idea of these elemental butterflies. I think the fire, I just don't like this one. I just don't like this butterfly. This is another concept that I need to pick back up and work on some other way. This is me trying to learn to cartoon. I hate it. This was me being very upset about my previous attempts of finishing stuff, doing anything. I just wanted to make something that looked interesting. And I love weird framing devices, so yeah. This is an idea I've had for a while. I needed to work out for this painting. I'm not sold on this one. This is something I think I might need to go through again and do in gouache, but just the flying sailboat. This is another page where I was just doing it because I was artistically frustrated and needed to get it out. And I blended a bunch of my Tombos together and put my prism, I layered some Tombow markers, the Tombow brush tip pens, and then colored over it with the Prismacolor. It's like, that looks pretty neat. And then I did that over here and over here some. And I really do like that effect. I just don't know. I don't know how to apply it in bigger pieces in a way that I like yet. Whenever I am feeling really insecure with my art and my drawing skills in particular, I always fall back on like just drawing my hand. Because when I was learning how to draw for the first time, that was something we used as an anchor point. At the beginning of every drawing session, we would draw our hand as best we could, and at the end we would draw our hand best we could, and then we could just physically see our progress. So periodically, I will just draw my hand and use it as a benchmark. This is another chance I tried doing that Prismacolor over the Tombow thing, and it didn't really work. Like you can see over here, it works really well with the blues because I have such different shades, but the pinks was a nightmare. My little jellyfish is weird, And I just really got into lettering last year. So I was watching Much Ado About Nothing, must be. And yeah, that one phrase again. I need to just leave it like this. I tried doing a different color under the pencil for this one. And I think that had the best effect because I love this green on top of pink, like the texture it gives it. But it's less effective over here. This was fun because I was babysitting my niece. And she takes kid supplies as an insult. Like she wants to use acrylics. She wants to use oils, but they are such a mess for adults and she's not an adult. So she was over, we were painting, and I wanted to prove a point that Crayola watercolors work really good. And this one is a much better example of than this one because I tried getting really wet and messy there. That was a technique issue, not a necessarily watercolor issue. This was fun. I was out having okay. Keeping a track of the dates, I know at this point we were like mid-COVID, but this was also, I was gearing up for my grandma was dying at this point. So my friend offered to take me to the pond, which is a place out near where they live, and we were just going to sit a fair distance apart and burn shit. And when we got there, it was still bright enough. I did some drawing of the foliage in a turned over chair and shovel near the burn pit. Oh, and I made a fun joke at this point about the cicadas. Because you live in an area where there's cicadas, you know the sound they make, and if you don't, it's terrifying the first time. Because it's like, what's that noise? Just the trees screaming. They do that in the summer. And then fuck this place. This, oh fun. This was the day my grandma died. I'm gonna assume this was before I found out. Yeah. This was also before, or while I was in that stage of like, I'm not dealing with it. I have a button press I haven't gotten to use. That one's really cute. But I have a button press I haven't gotten to use before because my printer does not print image quality well enough, and I got it at a stage, like for free, at a stage where I can't just buy a new printer yet. Yep, this is the stage of like, don't wanna deal with it, not gonna worry about anything. So I drew a cupcake and a landscape and wrote a word. And then fun-shaped animals and my aloe plant. This one was when I was really starting to feel it. I remember because I didn't want to draw, but I knew I needed to draw because I know drawing makes me feel better. And so I just sat down and I just drew whatever I could think of, whatever came to mind, and decided a page of bad drawings is worth more than a blank page. I went back to the sailboat thing and decided to like actually develop it out a little bit. I have some notes. I had the idea to merge the like sailboat in the sky with a cornfield and my Midwest Gothic style. Haven't done anything with that yet. This is a picture of a building outside of where I sold baked goods at a market over the summer. This was some of my branding ideas for my baked good stuff. Oh, I was having a hard time with gouache and landscapes. Like, yeah, I don't know if I don't like this or if I don't like gouache. And no matter what I try, gouache and landscapes aren't working for me. I love gouache, but I want to find art in gouache that I like. Pinterest ahoy. And then I never did. And I never gave up on doing landscapes in gouache. This is in my journal. This little jackalope thing. I love it. I love her. I love it. I love him. All of this. I think one of these, I think this one might be the one that's in my, I have a like draw with me on my channel of. I think this is that one. I got the pink pencil and I have not stopped using it since. I love adding it with the like regular graphite. It gives a really good sense of depth and interest. I have an idea. At some point I'm going to do a bunch of illustrated recipe cards or just illustrated recipes. So these were some notes developing that idea. I have a short story I have been working on called Sunflowers, and just trying to come up with like an image to go with that, because I do have the idea and I do want to at some point do a reading of it here, and I thought it'd be cool to have some art to go with. So I just like tried off the cuffing some sunflowers and got some pretty color combos, but I don't like these. I like this. I don't like these. I like this. Oh. Bam. I like this. This is nice. I don't think Past Me liked it because of how much emphasis I put on the next page of it. Or I accidentally skipped this page when I was, like I went straight from this page to this page and didn't realize it. That sounds like me. Drew some fruit. First foray into drawing fruit. I got really into that in my new sketchbook earlier this year already. And this is just, I traced my phone and used that as like the window pane for a drawing off my balcony. I love this one. I really like, oh, this is my birthday. I really like the other art YouTuber, Cheyenne Barton, and her pictures of cake really inspire, her actual cakes really make me want to get up my decorating game, which is a thing I'm working on. Yeah, cake decorating is a thing I want to work on. But it was my birthday and I was doing a challenge of like finishing up my sketchbook in the 24 hours of my birthday. So I drew some pretty bows. I like the bows better than the cake. Like that's just, you can tell I rushed that. And then this is just a lovely dreamy greeny landscape. Drew my hand again, a feather, an ear. Tamara Woods' shade fan. I was on Sarah Scharnweber's writing stream during this. I was asking people for suggestions, and I decided I would draw the lovely Dana Gollin, Ava Fox's Puppy Oink. So I scrolled through her Instagram and picked out a reference. did a blank contour to warm up, and did a couple of like polka dotted red bows. It makes me happy. I did a landscape entirely in like ink and Prismacolor, which was really fun. I like there are elements of my cartoon style that I really like. I really like the way I do the scribbly bushes and the grass, but like the house is trash, in my opinion. It's like I lean into the things I like well enough that I eventually get better at the things I don't like. And then just some abstracty kind of. You watercolor? Yeah, you're watercolor. I drew a bunch of teacups and bread and just played with my cute stuff aesthetic. This is like the best teapot I've ever drawn. I love it. Oh look, more self-portraits. Why do I do this? Because I need to practice. Like, that's the thing. Sketchbooks are for practice and for warming up and learning. And I don't usually advocate for people practicing to share everything they do, but I am, so you feel better about your art. That's the line. And then I have my like ending. I usually, the last page of my sketchbook, I treat like a journal. So I have the starting date and the end date and some reflections on it. I was feeling pretty dang pessimistic, apparently. That has improved significantly since I started this sketchbook, since I ended this sketchbook. But yeah, there is my 2018 to 2020 Winsor Newton, or Canson, mostly filled with Winsor Newton sketchbook. Thank you all for watching. Have a great day, lovelies. Bye.